What are some of the first words you think of when you think about American democracy?
Money, money, money.
Welcome to São Paulo. With roughly the same landmass as the United States and approximately half the population of all of South America, Brazil is the Western Hemisphere's second largest democracy. That democracy, however, is young and fragile. Bribery and tax evasion scandals have implicated high-ranking members of all of Brazil's major political parties and allowed far-right nationalist Jair Bolsonaro to win the presidency. Some experts now worry that Brazil may slide back toward autocracy. So at this precarious moment, we headed to the streets of São Paulo to ask ordinary Brazilians what they thought about democracy.
I'm very pessimistic about the future of democracy in Brazil.
Brazilians tend to be very dissatisfied with government. Only around 12% of Brazilians think that political parties are good.
Democracy had a very strong support in Brazil in the 80s, right after the end of our military regime. It has been going down since, the support for democracy.
In the last 14 years, Brazilian people are experiencing a lot of corruption going on. It's a kind of mafia.
People is not looking for democracy today. He is looking for justice.
Brazilians have a lot of frustration with the lack of answers that politicians have given. On the other hand, the frustration is against politicians in general. It's not necessarily against democracy itself.
A Constituição brasileira, ela é perfeita. Porém, se de fato funcionasse,
if we have politicians that want to weaken democracy, that's a danger.
People are being bombed by this fake news machine that's being used against democracy here.
There's a very aggressive tone against immigrants, which is very similar to right-wing discourse in Europe or in the US.
There's a feeling of hatred in the spread on our society.
People are fighting and they are accusing each other about their political position.
We have one people to believe in democracy and what people don't believe in democracy. You don't have any middle terms.
Democracy in Brazil is like super young. It's my age. So we didn't know how to deal with it.
We are so close to the end of the democracy that it scares me. I wake up nervous every day.
Brazil and the United States stand side by side in their efforts to ensure liberties and respect to traditional family lifestyles, respect to God, our Creator, against the gender ideology or the politically correct attitudes, and against fake news.
When I think about the United States, a remarkable thing is Trump.
Yeah, here in Brazil, I think sometimes he seems a little bit crazy, but about economy, I think he's doing very well.
I think he's like an asshole and prejudice.
I think that Brazil sees itself of kind of smaller United States.
We look at the US in seeing something we wish we were. The sort of romantic notion that in the US things work, that the political system is better.
a população americana ela tem uma cabeça mais aberta, uma mentalidade diferente da nossa aqui no Brasil. Então isso faz com que as coisas funcionem melhor lá do que aqui.
Things work, but it's a country where ethnicities and societies, they are not really integrated. I think about like black people and Latin American people living there and what they've been through like forever.
Since the 30s or the 40s, part of the Brazilian elites thought that the nearness to United States wasn't good for development, for growth, etc. But this is not a general feeling among the people.
The United States for me is remarkable in a positive way by developing things. So technology,
The language, the music, the people.
Better wages and better social conditions. And people deduct that the political systems in these places are better, or the political system in these places don't have the exact same questions that we do.
I think to democracy to become stronger, we have to understand the political system better.
The most important part of democracy is the expression of opinion of all the people.
I think individual freedom is something like really important, but it's a dangerous answer also, because we're like talking about people having guns, for example.
I think now we need some really big changes, so it's gonna take a while, but when it all passes, it's gonna be really good.